The headline for this is absolutely infuriating. It makes you question whether there is any kind of real justice, even in countries like the United States. Because a driver who ploughed into a couple crossing the street, killing one of them in the process, will not spend a single day in prison for his actions. Yeah, incredible really, and in the worst possible ways. But how has this been achieved? How has this happened? Let's get into the full story. A man from Colorado received the legal equivalent of mercy after hitting a married couple with his car and killing the husband. In September, Samuel Robert Michael, 28 years of age, pleaded guilty to 1 count each of vehicular assault resulting in death, vehicular homicide, DUI, careless driving resulting in injury, and careless driving causing significant bodily injury to a vulnerable road user, according to the District Attorney's Office for the 23rd Judicial District when they spoke to Law and Crime. On Monday, District Court Judge Elizabeth B. Volz sentenced the defendant to 4 years of community corrections, which is the Mile High State's version of a halfway house. The Colorado Department of Corrections website describes the relatively lenient punishment as, quote, a sentencing or placement alternative in lieu of prison incarceration for felony offenders, end quote. The incident itself occurred on February 22nd. That night, Michael was drinking heavily and got behind the wheel of his car before heading north on First Street in Castle Rock. Then he turned left onto Wilcox Street. But Craig Kasda, 69 years of age, and his family were also out that evening. After eating a dinner downtown with his daughter and son-in-law, Kasda and his wife crossed Wilcox holding hands at a crosswalk, according to a courtroom report by the Douglas County News Press. During the sentencing hearing, Michelle Kasda said that she remembered the headlights coming for her and her husband. She said there was no chance to escape the vehicle as it headed right for them. Craig Kasda was rushed to the intensive care unit at a nearby hospital. He passed away on April 16th after suffering from a traumatic brain injury at a rehabilitation facility after weeks of efforts to save his life. And like I said as well, the defendant's blood alcohol level indicated that he was drunk at the time, around twice the legal limit of 0.08 in the state of Colorado. Now, the defendant did not rush away. Actually, he did show remorse for his actions, because he stopped, got out of his car, and tried to resuscitate the victim in this. The incident apparently was slow speed as well, and the defendant has repeatedly offered to help the family since Kasda passed away. However, the victim's family has claimed that Michael was uncooperative with law enforcement at the scene of the crime by refusing questions and declining to submit to tests. But in court, Michael did offer some contrition, saying, quote, all I am is sorry. There's not a second in the day that I don't wish I could take my own life and give his back, end quote. Initially, the charges were calling for him to spend around 13 years in prison, and both the prosecution and the victim's relatives pushed for that maximum sentence. However, in the end, the judge decided community service was enough and he'll spend no time behind bars. It is possible he may go to prison though, although that is unlikely. That would only happen if he's not accepted by a community corrections provider and he goes back to court for a further sentencing and ends up in prison. But if he is accepted, he'll avoid jail time. Now, I'm all for showing a bit of contrition. I'm all for showing that you regret your actions and try and help out. But at the same time, no prison time for killing somebody. I'm sorry. That just doesn't seem like enough. It really doesn't. Yes, he was 69 years of age when this happened, the victim, but at the end of the day, he's still taken his life away. Completely innocent victim in all that. So that doesn't sit right with me. It really doesn't. Some people might even argue that the full 13 years wouldn't be enough, and I can see why. But guys, get your thoughts in the comments below on this one. What would have been an appropriate punishment? Should he serve jail time? Should he not? I want to hear what you have to say on this as always. I'm sure you got a few thoughts. Like, share, comment, subscribe, guys, and hopefully some better news on the way on the channel very soon for you.